What's up, family? Man, I'm gonna give you guys a minute to come on in here before we get started. What's up, babe? Can you guys hear me okay? What's up, Scorpio lady? Is the sound coming in clear and loud enough? What's up, Jose? Thank you, baby savage. That's a crazy name. I like that though. Man, what's up? What's up? Hey, family, we're gonna go ahead and get started. On behalf of my mother-in-law, man, I bless each and every one of you guys. May God bless you. May God have his way in your life. Thank you, Scorpio lady. For those of you that catch this on the replay on YouTube, may God bless you as well. Man, family, we're going to go in today. It's going to be informative. I'm not going to go off today. You know what I mean? I'm trying to maintain some composure today. But it's going to be informative, okay? I wrote a lot of information down in the descriptions. What's up, Thomas? The words that I'm going to use, most of you guys probably aren't going to be familiar with them. The causes, the symptoms, and the pillars and all that. Man, I wrote a lot of this information down in the description, so you could just go down there, copy it, screenshot it, whatever, so you have all the information right there. You don't have to write notes or anything of that nature. So, man, we're talking about love is the answer. Love is the answer. Hey, sidetrack real quick. And tomorrow we're gonna go in and we're gonna have a conversation on the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect. That's what we're talking about tomorrow. Man, that's gonna be very informative. Man, that's gonna be deep. Today, man, we're talking about mental health. You know what I mean? We're talking about mental health. There's a word that it's a phrase I want you guys to understand, and I don't even have a copy of it. Mass psychosis. Mass psychosis. That's what we're going to be dealing with today. When you look around what's going on in the world, man, and we look at all the craziness that's going on, you know what I mean? Just all over, you know what I mean? Not just here in America, but all over. It's as though people are losing their minds all over. It's as though just the youth have lost it, you know what I mean? First is the Tide Pod challenge, and and all the stupid stuff that they were doing, Now these kids are jumping in front of trains and jumping in front of climbing up on vehicles as they're moving on the freeway, just all kind of stupid stuff, and all these games or challenges that they're seeing on TikTok, and for whatever reason, they think that's acceptable. They think that's cool, you know what I mean? There's a lot of craziness that's going on in the world, you know what I mean? And so the mass psychosis, that's what we're going to really talk about. But love is the answer. Love is the answer. But most of us really don't understand what love is. And so we think it's religion. We think it's politics. You got to be a certain, political party to get rid of the answers and all that other foolishness. None of those things are going to solve any problems. Politics and religion don't solve our problems. They can't solve mental health issues. Okay? And the only way to solve the mental health issues is with love. Stay with me. We're going to go somewhere. Mass psychosis. First and foremost, psychosis. I have another phone with me right here and has like all the descriptions and stuff that I told you guys about. Psychosis, according to the dictionary, it's a severe mental disorder in which thought and emotions are so impaired that contact is lost with external reality. I'm going to read that again. A severe mental disorder in which thought and emotions are so impaired that contact is lost with external reality. There's a word that I want you guys to learn. It's called menticide. Menticide. I got that word written down in the description, so you don't have to write it down. I got the description in there also. Menticide, the definition for that is the systematic effort to undermine and destroy a person's will, mental health, their values, independence, and beliefs. I'm going to say it again. Menticide, Menticide. That's the systematic effort to undermine and destroy a person's will, their mental health, their values, their independence, and their beliefs. And so when you look back at what's going on in the world, when you look back over the crap music that they're putting out, you look at over all the movies that they're putting out, you know, and you look at all the stupid stuff, the toxic food that they're putting out, you know what I mean? You look at the chemtrails and all the other crap that they're putting out there. You look at the stuff, how are they programming us? You know what I mean? In 1940, I can't think of the author's name. He wrote this book, the author wrote this book, 1984. Orson Welles, I believe it was Orson Welles wrote the book, 1984. And he wrote this in 1940, and he talked about how we would lose it. He talked about how we would become so programmed to where the catchphrases and all this other stuff would be obey, you know, would be all this other crazy stuff. And we got t-shirts and all this stuff saying obey. You know, you got all these sayings everywhere. I went to a football game, NFL game, and they had, you see something, say something. You know what I mean? Text such and such number, and the cops will come get these people. And it's like they're programming us to be snitches. They're programming us, you know what I mean, just to turn on each other. And all the stuff that they're programming us to do is all the stuff that Orson Welles said that they would do in 1940. And it's a trip because it's all the same. George Orwell, thank you, Morgan. George Orwell. And it's the same stuff that Hitler and the Nazis used. It's the same stuff that Stalin used. You know what I mean? It's the same stuff that Mussolini used. It's the same stuff that Mao Zedong, I can't even, I already said his name. It's the same thing that he used. All these dictators use the same principle. Rat on each other. Tell on each other. Why? Because there's distrust. And so when you look at what's going on, man, we can't tell the difference between up and down. Right has become wrong. You know what I mean? It's okay for politicians to just dog people out. It's okay for people to say, man, you could grab women by their vagina parts, you know, by their vagina, and they'll let you do it. And we love those people, man. We're all, yeah. You know, we're all cheering them on. And these are supposed to be our leaders. And they're telling us, oh yeah, you could do all this stuff. And it's recorded. And we're like, yes, power to the people and all this other stupid stuff. You know what I mean? It's a trip how we just lose it because we're so programmed. And we're so programmed based on our political views, based on our religious views. It's a trip how when Bill Clinton was president, and I'm not Democrat or Republican or conservative, none of that crap. I don't care about any of the presidents. None of them. But it's a trip how when Bill Clinton was president and he had that sexual affair with Monica Lewinsky, how everybody, all the religious rights was, man, he should be unfit for president and we should impeach him. And they did impeach him for that, you know what I mean? And we got all these religious people talking about he's supposed to be the leader of the free world and he's supposed to be the leader and representative of America. And look at how he's acting. He can't even be trusted with his wife and woo. But those same religious fanatics, well, Donald Trump, he's not, that's up to God to judge. We're not going to judge him. But you was damning Bill Clinton to hell. Bill Clinton never said that you could grab a woman by her pussy and it's okay and she'll let you do it. I'm sure he did it, but he didn't get on TV. He wasn't recorded saying that. This isn't to divide the conservatives and Democrats. It's not about it. It's about the hypocrisy. It's about the hypocrisy. And we forget all the crazy stuff that the country put Bill Clinton through. And we let this guy come in and he say what he say and everybody loves it. Not everybody, a lot of people love it. You know what I mean? And it's a trip because it's like, never in my mind Never in my mind did I ever think that, was it January 6th, would ever happen. I believe it was January 6th, where all these people stormed the Capitol, and they were allowed to storm the Capitol. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. It's a trip how all these people were allowed to stand out there and talk about hang Mike Pence, lynch him. I used to work at Corcoran State Prison. There are people in prison right now for making terrorist threats. There are people in prison right now for saying, I'm gonna shoot you, for saying, I'm gonna do something to somebody. You know what I mean? They got put in prison for that. You can't say stuff like that against a president or vice president or any sitting politician. And for all these people to be out there and being recorded, chanting, string up Mike Pence, and have a lynch out there, you know what I mean? And now we justify that. Now it's perfectly okay that that happened. That wasn't terrorism. That wasn't treason. To storm the capital of our country, looking for certain politicians to string up because you didn't like the fact of the results of the president's election. You know what I mean? I don't give a crap about the election. I don't give a crap about who wins and who don't win. You know what I mean? But just because you didn't agree with it doesn't give you the right to storm the Capitol. It doesn't give you the right to just negate all the rules of the law, of the land, because you didn't like who won. You didn't like the fact that Mike Pence wouldn't do whatever, break the law. Let's hang him. You know what I mean? He doesn't deserve to live anymore because he's not in cahoots with us. And we've completely just, no big deal. It don't matter. It don't matter they stormed the Capitol. It don't matter people died. It don't matter all this happened. Yeah, it's all a big deal. It's not that big a deal. Why are you dividing the people? Why are we talking about this? We're talking about this because, man, we've been so programmed and so dumbed down, and we don't even realize it. We don't even understand how we've been manipulated. We're talking about mass psychosis. Look at some of the symptoms of psychosis. I'm like sitting here sweating. Excuse me, I don't have my rag with me. It's like some of the symptoms of psychosis: a drop in your grades or job performance, a drop in your incentive to do anything, okay? Trouble thinking clearly or concentrating, suspiciousness or unease around others. What's up, Jadine? Lack of self-care or hygiene, spending more time alone than usual, stronger emotions than situations call for, or no emotions at all. I'm gonna say it again. Symptoms of psychosis. I've already told you what psychosis is. I'm gonna read it again. Psychosis is a severe mental disorder in which thought and emotions are so impaired that contact is lost with external reality. So you lose contact with reality. You can't tell what's real from what's fake anymore. You're so far gone in the matrix, you don't know what's real anymore. Symptoms of the psychosis: a drop in grades, job performance, or desire to do anything, trouble thinking clearly or concentrating, suspiciousness or unease around others, lack of self-care or lack of hygiene, spending more time alone than usual, stronger emotions than situations call for, or no emotions at all. It's a trip because, man, when you look at so much of what's going on, man, this describes a great majority of Americans. You know what I mean? When you look at the symptoms of psychosis, man, and they say you got to have at least 3 of those things, 3 to 4 of those things. I just read off what 6, 7 of them. The great majority of Americans have the great majority of all those symptoms right there. The causes of psychosis: stress, alcohol and drugs, mental and medical conditions, anxiety, programming, Family, we don't even understand how we're making ourselves sick. We don't even understand how we're making ourselves emotionally sick. And it's so normal. It's normal for us to get on social media and get lost on social media. We'll pick up our phones, our tablets, and we just scroll through Facebook. Oh, I'm just gonna be on for a minute. And 3 hours later, we're still there. And we do this all the time. Oh, I'm just gonna look on the internet for something real quick. And 4 hours later, we're still there. And I haven't even talked about the people addicted to drugs. I'm not drugs, excuse me, the people addicted to porn. On the web. We don't even understand how we're sick. And all of this stuff has been told to us in 1940, when this book came out, 1984. And we're allowing it to happen. We're allowing it to come to fruition. And so now when somebody gets on social media or on their platform and they say something that the masses don't like, man, they attack them. And everybody gangs up on this person. Why? Because the rest of these people have been so programmed to where the politicians, the government, these people ain't even got to fight you no more. Why? Because the masses of humanity are gonna attack you. Because they're so programmed, they're freaking zombies. They're gonna come after you. How do we fix all of that? Is there a cure? I know the religious fanatics gonna be like, yeah, my church. Your church is part of the reasons why the country's fucked up. I'm just being real. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. Church ain't gonna solve this problem. Church cannot solve this problem. We have to grow up. We have to understand that church is part of the programming. And see, so many of us, we're so addicted to these programs. We can't function without these programs. We can't function without having the TV on. And many of us, we can't even go to sleep without having the TV on in the background. How twisted and psychotic is that? That you got to have the TV on just to have the noise going so that you can be comfortable to go to sleep. Most humans can't go 30 days without social media. Most humans can't be off social media for one day. Forget 30 days. Most people can't go one day without being on social media. We've been so programmed. You know what I mean? Again, let's go back to the word menticide. Menticide, the systematic effort to undermine and destroy a person's will, their mental health, their values, their independence and beliefs. That describes America. I'm sure that describes other countries too, but that describes America. What's happening in America? What's been happening in America? But love is the answer. There's always an answer. And love is the answer. Love is the answer. The Republican Party isn't the answer. The Democratic Party isn't the answer. The conservatives isn't the answer. Christianity isn't the answer. Islam, Buddhism, Judaism, being a Sikh, none of this stuff is the answer. The answer is love. Love. But the great majority of us don't even know what love is. Let's look at the Buddha. Over 2,500 years ago, Buddha said that the 4 pillars of love, this is what's needed for love. First one, kindness. Kindness, being selfless and caring. The second one, compassion, to suffer together. The third one, happiness, a state of contentment and satisfaction. The fourth one is freedom, a state of a state of not being enslaved or imprisoned. The four pillars of love: kindness, happiness, compassion, and freedom. We're going to start with the bottom and work our way up. Freedom, a state of not being enslaved or imprisoned. So when you're looking at a relationship, freedom is the ability to be you. Freedom is, man, I don't have to change everything about me to be accepted by you. I don't have to change who I really am at my core to be valued and to be respected and to be loved by you. Freedom is, man, I can have the free will to pursue what makes me happy. As long as it's not jeopardizing our relationship. That's freedom. Most of us, we have no concept of freedom in a relationship. We want to control everything about this other person. Why? Because we're scared we're going to lose them. We're scared they're going to go somewhere else. We're scared they're going to cheat on us. We're scared somebody's going to come in and swoop them up from underneath us. And so we want to control their every move. We want to control how they dress, who they hang out with. We want to control their social media. We want to control their telephone. Right off the bat, I gave my queen my password to myself. I didn't have to. I've never done that in the past, you know what I mean? But just to show her, it's like, man, I have nothing to hide. You know what I mean? I have nothing to hide. You go through my phone anytime you want to. I don't care. You know what I mean? I put my email on her phone. So when my emails pop up on my phone, they pop up on her phone as well. Why? Because there's nothing to be hidden here. There's no secrets here at all. Freedom. Freedom is a state of mind. Most people have no concept of freedom. Most people are slaves and don't even understand the fact that they're a slave. Most people are a slave to praise, to validation, to what everybody else thinks and what everybody else expects of them. They won't make a decision unless they run it through the group first. Unless they girls tell men, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's nice. Man, happiness. And I share this with people all the time. Man, it ain't nobody else's job to make you happy. If you're in a relationship, that's your responsibility. I can't make you happy. It's not my job to make you happy. Happiness is a state of mind that has to come from within. See, so many women I've heard on social media, I've seen the stupid shit where they get up talking about, man, it's nice having a man pay your job, pay your bills, and pay for this, and a man should be able to do this, that. And it's like, hold up, that's not his job. You got a job. He just got with you. How is it his responsibility now to pay for your car payment? What the hell are you gonna do with your money? And so this lady was like, well, he can help me if he wants to. I'm like, yeah, he can. But why are you putting that expectation and demand on somebody that just got with you? He didn't have nothing to do with you creating all those bills. How is it now his responsibility? If he want to be with you, he got to pay your bills. You're going to be alone. It's nobody else's responsibility to make you happy. It's nobody else's responsibility to do for you what you could do for yourself. I understand that in a relationship, man, there's a vibe that we have, and we're a team. And so, man, when we get married and we're intimate like that, and we're at that level where we living together and we're gonna make this go, man, what's yours is mine, what's mine is yours. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're gonna work this out together. But if we just meet, no. No, 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 no. That's not how that goes. And so many people get in relationships thinking this guy's gonna make me happy. This woman's gonna make me happy. And they're happy in the beginning because it's all new. Man, it's all exciting. It's all, man, we're going out on dates and man, he's taking me out to eat and she's paying for us to go eat and man, we're going to the movies and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Man, it's all great in the beginning. And then after a while, you stop doing all that stuff and now you're looking at the fact that, well, man, I ain't happy no more. Oh, you ain't happy no more because we ain't going out to eat? We ain't happy no more because I ain't spending money on you like that anymore? You wasn't happy in the beginning. You know what I mean? You wasn't happy from the gate. You was quote unquote happy because you had somebody spend some money on you. You was quote unquote happy because you had somebody to stop you from feeling lonely. But you weren't really happy. We have to grow up. We have to stop blaming everybody else for how we are. How come you can't be happy on your own? Because the truth is, if you can't be happy being alone, you're not going to be happy being in a relationship. Let me say again, if you're not happy alone, getting in a relationship is not going to make you happy. Because you got to be happy with you first and foremost. If you can't be happy with you, how the heck are you going to be happy with somebody else? Your issues ain't changed. They've gotten complicated, more complicated because somebody else is there now. Compassion. Talked about this a little bit yesterday when I mentioned the fact that the young lady on the train out here in New York, some dude jumped on the train and sat next to her and just grabbed her by her hair and was doing something hurting her. And a bunch of people are sitting around videotaping it, but nobody got up to do anything about it. You can't say that you're a compassionate person and you allow people to suffer and you're not doing anything to try to help them. Again, compassion is suffering together. Compassion, the word compassion literally means to suffer together. I'll say it again, because all these people running around talking about, man, I'm compassionate, I'm compassionate, I'm compassionate. No, you ain't. You're empathetic, you're not compassionate. There's a difference. We're not talking about empathy, we're talking about compassionate. Compassion literally means to suffer together. When you suffer, I suffer. When you hurt, I hurt. That's compassion. I don't have to know you. One of the things about funerals, I don't like going to funerals. And it's like, man, I don't even have to know the person who passed away. You know what I mean? Just seeing the hurt and the loss and the pain of all the people around, man, and I feel that pain. They're hurting. I'm hurting now. I'm hurting because they're hurting. You know what I mean? I'm catching pain and suffering because they're catching pain. They're feeling it. You know what I mean? I don't even have to know the people who passed away. Compassion. We seem to have lost that in our country. Except for when it comes to our immediate family, our immediate loved ones. But when there's other people, man, we care less. I remember when I was in California, we used to always talk, man, stuff like hurricanes and all this stuff would come through on the East Coast and the tornadoes and all this other stuff. And we sit back and like, man, why do people live in those places? Everybody want to complain about California, the earthquakes. Man, earthquakes don't do crap like that. And these people have seasons of hurricane seasons, tornado seasons, and all this other crap. These people go through this crap every year. Like, Why would these idiots live in places like that? I wasn't compassionate. Stay with me. I didn't understand the logic. Why would you live in Tornado Alley? You know what I mean? And you know it's gonna come through once, coming through every year. It's easy for people not affected to sit back and like, man, these people are crazy, and why would they do this and da da da, and that just doesn't make sense. What, every year, man, mobile homes are destroyed in our country from tornadoes and hurricanes. Whether we're talking about Florida, Oklahoma, Texas, any of those places, we see mobile home parks just shatter, just shredded. It's like, why would you live like that? And you know these things are coming through every year. Okay, it didn't get you this time. Odds are it's gonna get you next year, because there's less houses, less of those mobile homes there now. Odds are it's gonna get you now. And so, but we weren't compassionate towards people that lived in those environments, those locations. We see all the tsunamis that affect Malaysia and all these other places, and we're like, man, that's crazy. All these, man, millions of people are, they're homeless, and hundreds of thousands of people been killed, and hundreds of thousands of people we can't find. And it's like, oh yeah, that's not America. You know what I mean? And that's most Americans. It's like, yeah. Sorry about that luck. You know what I mean? And we just keep moving on. No compassion whatsoever. Kindness. Kindness is being selfless and caring. Being selfless and caring. Family. These 4 pillars make up love. You know what I mean? Stay with me. These 4 pillars are the foundation of love. How can you say that you're so loving and all this other stuff, and you're not compassionate at all? How can you say you're loving and all this other stuff, and you're not kind to people at all? How can you say you're loving and you just exemplify love and all this other stuff? You ain't happy. There's nothing about you happy at all. There's nothing about you that represents freedom. But your love, how? What's your understanding of love? What's your definition of love? Oh, she give you some kitty cat, he gave you some dick, and that's love. Oh, he took you to McDonald's or Taco Bell, and so now you're gonna give him some sex and show him love. That's love to you. What's your definition of love? How is it that we can only represent or show love just to people we like? People who agree with us? That would be like me saying, okay, you know what, man, I love my queen. I love all you guys, but the only person I'm nice to is my queen. The only person that I'm compassionate about is my queen. The only person that I'll do anything for is my queen. But then I'll walk down the street and I'll see this person on the street catching hell, and I won't do nothing for them. I see this old elderly lady and I won't do anything to help her. And I know most of the time they're gonna look at me like, oh no, I don't need no help. But I'm still gonna offer them help anyways. Whether they accept it or reject it, that's not my issue. How can you just show love just to people who think like you, people who look like you, people who believe the bullshit you believe? Oh, you're conservative. Yeah, we gotta stick together. And, fuck all them other people. They're going to hell anyway. And we'll do all this other bullshit. My mother-in-law was showing me this pastor that was saying that the government, I believe she's saying that the government should kill all these homosexuals. This is a pastor. How the fuck are you gonna be a pastor saying that God should kill, not God, excuse me, that the government should kill all these freaking homosexuals? Just because you don't agree with homosexuality. Where's the fucking compassion at? Where's the fucking love at? Where's the kindness at? And yet you're supposed to be a child of God. And you're still a child of God. You're just fucking lost and confused and disconnected from God. You don't know who God is. You don't have a relationship with God any way, shape, or form. And that's so many religious people. That's damning everybody to hell because you don't agree with them. Where's the love at? Where's the mercy at? Where's the compassion at? We got to grow up. We have to grow up. Some of us, the majority of us, we're so stuck in the matrix. We've been so poisoned, and the great majority of us have poisoned ourselves with the crap we entertain. You are what you eat. You are what you eat. Physically, intellectually, and emotionally. You are what you eat. If you consume all this negative, toxic, racist bullshit, then that's what you are. That's not love. If you consume all of this hate and violence and just stupid crap, then that's what you are. If you consume all of this toxic food and poison, it's like one day I was talking to my son. Graduated from college and he was vaping. And it just bugs me. It's like, he's a grown man, he's 25 years old at the time. I'm like, dude, why you do that? He's like, why I do what? I said, why do you vape? He's like, oh, that is nothing. Da, da, da. I said, dude, what's in that? Oh, try it. It's like, I'm not doing that. I said, dude, you don't even know, you don't even understand the chemicals you're putting into your body. Because you see everybody else doing it, or because it makes you feel relaxed or whatever the case. You don't know what those chemicals are doing to your body. You don't know what those chemicals are doing to your brain. Why would you knowingly put toxic chemicals into your body? It's like, Dad, you don't know if it's toxic. And see, that's what I'm talking about. You don't know if it's poison or what. I said, dude, it's foreign. When has the government ever gave you anything healthy like that? When has the government ever sanctioned something like that for you? He was like, what are you trying to say? I said, you don't know what's in that crap, dude. 5 years from now, you don't know what's going to happen because of the crap that you put into your body. Just like all those people smoking those cigarettes and didn't understand that, man, look at what was happening to their lungs. Look at what was happening to their kidneys and to all these other organs. But because they had been programmed to do it, all these commercials, all these advertisements of these guy cowboys and these pretty women and these quote unquote supposed to be sex objects, they smoking cigarettes and just standing there, just dragging and all that. And so, man, the mass of Americans like, oh, in order to be sexy, you gotta smoke a cigarette, you gotta smoke a Slim, and in order to be sexy, you're a rugged cowboy, man, you gotta smoke Marlboro, or you gotta smoke this over here, or you gotta smoke this like this, and man, and so we bought into that crap. We were programmed to think that. Why do you think the way you think? What do you think? Do you even think? What do you think about? Understand, again, menticide, the systematic effort to undermine and destroy a person's will, their mental health, their values, their independence, and beliefs. They want you docile. They want you weak. They don't want you being independent. They don't want you thinking for yourself. And when you go to any of these churches, and it's a trip because all these religious groups will talk about, well, you shouldn't be this and you shouldn't be, because that's what a cult, they're a cult. You know what I mean? It's like, you're a dumbass because you don't even know the definition of cult. A cult is any group of people with the same belief. That's the definition of a cult. Any group of people with the same belief. So any religious group is a cult by its own definition. And it don't have to just be a religious group. We get all these people thinking, man, if you think this, if you go to church, you got to think like everybody else. You got to dress like everybody else. You got to walk like everybody else. You got to be like everybody else. When you look at all these politicians, they all dress the same. They all look the same. Everybody on social media, they want to look like all these other hood rats who's gotten famous off TikTok and Instagram and all this other crap. All these women that used to be strippers and, you know, started preaching or rapping, whatever they call that crap, singing, whatever. Everybody want to look like them. What happened in America to where now everybody want their booty done? Everybody want a booty implant. Everybody's doing squats and lunges to get their booty big. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, all these women weren't talking about that. That was just quote unquote a black thing. And all black women didn't have big butts, but it was a black thing. Now everybody got a big butt thanks to Kim Kardashian and these other tramps. What changed in our thought process to where now everybody want their lips done, lip implants. Everybody want breast implants. All these young women walk around with these fake eyelashes. And to each their own, you know what I mean? Do you? But do you understand why you're doing it? Are you doing it because you've been programmed to do it? Are you doing it because you feel pressured to do it because that's what everybody else is doing? That's the norm. I remember my younger kid's mom used to get mad at me all the time. We stayed arguing and fighting. She made this statement one day. She said, I always see you reading books. Why are you always reading those books? You act like you know it all. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. I was like, what? She said, you always reading those books. You act like you know it all. I said, I'll never see you reading books. Stay with me. I said, I'm reading books because I'm trying to learn something. I'm trying to remember some stuff that I've forgotten. I'm trying to get a different perspective. You don't never read books, so do that mean that you know it all? I don't never see you studying anything. So do that mean that you got it all figured out? It's because you don't have to look at other people's perspectives. You don't have to think outside the box. Yeah, that relationship didn't last long. We have to grow up. She was getting mad. She said, why can't you just be like everybody else? It's like, motherfucker, I didn't come here to be like everybody else. I came here to be me. I don't want to be everybody else. And that's the issue. Everybody want to be everybody else because they're so frustrated and miserable with their own life. They don't even like them. They don't even love them. And so maybe if they're like Beyonce, then maybe they'll like themselves. Maybe if they're like J-Lo or any of these other people, man, they'll like themselves. If they look like them, if they were able to dress like them, if they were able to dance like them. Why? That's a person that don't love themselves. That's a person that don't know themselves. And so they're always looking for the next best thing. They're always looking for the next fad. Because they're not comfortable being their own self. They're not comfortable thinking for themselves. And so they got to have all these rappers and entertainers and all these other people tell them what the fad is. And so they start doing it. Oh, Lil Wayne is dressing like this. Oh, I got to start dressing like this. Oh, this person's dressing like this. Oh, I got to start dressing like this now. We're confused. We're lost. But love is the answer. Love has always been the answer. But we have to understand what love is. We have to understand what love is. Love resides within every single one of us. At our core, we are love. At our core, we are love. The Bible says that God is love. We are love. We are God. Because it's an energy. It's a frequency. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a frequency. It's a frequency. Man, family, my hope and prayer is that we start growing up. You know what I mean? We start growing up. We stop being so distracted and start remembering who we are. Start understanding who we are. Start valuing and loving who we are. Because at your core, you're love. At your core, you're God. You're not a mistake. You're not a coincidence. You're not an accident. You're not a failure. You're not a fuck up. I don't give a damn what you've done in your life. I don't care what anybody has said about you. At your core, you're love. At your core, you're love. At your core, you're God. You're great. You're powerful. You're wise. You have to understand that. You have to understand that. Man, I hope and pray that I've said something in this video to bring some awareness or to remind you of who you are. You know what I mean? Man, I hope I've shared something with you that triggered something, that's turned the light on, or whatever the case may be. That's, man, you know what I mean? Got your wheels spinning now. Why do you dress like that? Why do you go broke trying to dress like everybody else? Why do you go broke trying to keep up with everybody else? Man, just be you. Be you. You're love. You're what everybody's looking for. Think about that. Everybody wants love. You are love. You're looking for love. Not even understand. You are love. Man, I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.